think I've ever seen Gremlins.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that I've seen it because I know that my family's watched it. But I know there's like a really cute gremlin, and then I know there's like really mean and nasty gremlins. They kind of look like Furbies.
Yeah. Do you know the rules about Gremlins?
They can't get wet.
Yeah.
I pulled that out of, I don't know,
And don't feed them after
10.
Labor Day.
Hello, and welcome to Hardly Working, the show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kellie.
And I'm SP. What a chill little intro for a fabulous week to talk about.
I realize that people might not want me yelling at them
Well,
in the gym, in their morning drive, with their morning coffee. So I was trying to give you I should have given you the sultry vibes of a good morning and welcome to Hardly Working.
Well, I can't do the
sultry?
same.
I don't know.
It was, you know what? I don't know the meaning of the word. Sultry.
Like smooth and sexy.
Sounds like salty.
It's not.
Like a sultry turkey. Seems like
Stop
you could have
assaulting
that.
me.
Stop assaulting me.
Assaultering me.
Okay, back to our show. Hi. What a fun week it's been.
It's been a week. It's not over yet.
No,
but
it's been great.
exciting.
We've got lots to catch up on, lots of fun. It is, of course, still spooky season. Time for more spooks for no reason. So we got a fun episode lined up for you, packed full of stories, spooks, hoots, and everything in between. I don't really know what that means.
Glad you didn't keep going with a oots sound.
I wonder where I would have gotten to.
Toots.
And we landed there. Before we jump into the show proper, Kellie has had a wild 24, 36 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pumped for her, and it's a fun freaking story. Kellie, take me back to Wednesday night when you were just chilling and your phone started going off.
Yeah, I didn't even have my phone on me. Let's just make that clear. I was in the bedroom. I had left my phone out in the living room for some reason.
That's more and more like you lately, by the way, just to leave your phone out there.
Don't need it all the time.
Maybe you do.
But I think what was happening is I think we were watching Hurricane Milton updates
We were.
on the TV.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. Brooklyn had just gone down to bed, kind of. We were in the midst of that. I was in the room, and SP runs in and goes, "Hey, Dana's trying to call you." For those of you that don't know, I have a friend, Dana, who I met last year. She recently, I guess within the year, like for the last 8 months, started working at NBC Universal with the events in the backlot. But she's a dear friend. I love her.
Which, if you're not from here, the backlot is where all the actual studios are. The giant warehouse-sized buildings that have that shoot your favorite TV shows and competitive reality shows, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you've ever been to Universal Studios, you can take the backlot studio tour that takes you through the sets and all that stuff. She does events back there.
Yeah.
But we had just hung out a couple of days ago. We went to dinner. But he's like, "Dana's trying to call you," and I was like, "Okay." And so I missed the first call, but got the second one. And she's with someone in the car, and I truly was thinking to myself, "Oh my goodness! Did she get in a car accident or something happen? I might be needing to put my big girl pants on and go pick her up," which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But I was trying to figure it out, but no, she was like, "Kellie, I have an event tomorrow, and they at 5 o'clock. It's 8:30 at night.
The day before,
and,
now. Yeah.
They are requesting a photo booth. They just told me today. Please tell me you're available." And I was like, "I am available."
Yep.
She's like, "Okay, then you're hired. I'll pitch you. Here's what you need. Can you send me a mock-up? Can you do all this stuff?" I was like, "Yep, I'm on it." And so here we are, less than 24 hours in advance of this event, getting booked. And so I throw it all together. The next morning, I'm working with Dana to do it all. And my favorite part of this whole entire thing, well, there's a lot, but I find out that it is for Wicked, number one.
The movie.
Which I'm a huge fan of, love Wicked, so excited. And it's for celebrating their product launches, which they have quite a bit of the product launches. Mm-hmm. It's just so fun. So I do all this stuff. We get there. It's been on my vision board to do an event at NBC Universal. I've been in contact with a couple of different coordinators within NBC Universal this year, and nothing's quite worked out with timing or events being canceled or all that stuff. And so it's now happening. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, it's now happening. This is crazy. It's insane. I can't believe it." Get on site, meet Jen, who's the head of this department. She freaking falls in love with us. Mm-hmm. Hires us on the spot for Halloween.
Another gig, yeah, in 2-3 weeks.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this. I don't really care. But Wicked they're doing a lot of different marketing promotions, like a lot of different things. One of which is with the Voluspa candles, which are like the really fancy smelling candles. They have like an Alpha one and a Glinda one. And she liked us so much that she gave us one of each. Which one for me, one for SP, but let's be real, they're just both for me.
They sound expensive.
But they are gorgeous. They are truly gorgeous. They smell good. They look beautiful. The packaging is chef's kiss, like amazing.
It was really cool. She took them out when we got home, and the top of the candle, like it's like a glass top.
It becomes like a pedestal.
It becomes like a pedestal. It almost looks like a goblet or something like that when you put the candle on top of the lid that's now the pedestal. It was pretty cool.
Like a crystal. It's really cool. And the packaging fits together. So it says Wicked, but with Elphaba and like the silhouette of Elphaba and Glinda's face.
We should have brought it. We have a candle warmer in the studio.
I know. I don't want to leave him here though because I love him so much.
But just bring one.
Yeah. No, because then they'll be separated from each other, which I guess is how it ends. But spoilers.
Spoilers.
We haven't seen Wicked or know about Wicked. Man, you've been sleeping.
Just kidding. That's not how it ends. Some people haven't seen it, and the movie.
Have you seen The Wizard of Oz? Because that also kind of spoils some of this for you.
Fair. Yeah, there's like 100-year-old spoilers.
But yeah, it was. I know I'm not like living or like It was a dream. I have no words. It was just like a really crazy 24 hours, truly end to end, with it being Wicked and on NBC Universal a lot, and with my friend Dana, who like I absolutely love and adore.
And to be walking out, and for the woman who's organizing all that to be like, we're hiring you on this day, which was hysterical because it wasn't like, are you guys available?
It was like we're going to hire you.
And not just you, but also it sounds like me as well for something separate. Yeah.
I got SP hired on something. I brought him in to a studio. Isn't that crazy? My connection.
It was pretty nuts.
We were driving home in the car and I looked at him and I think I said something like, I finally feel as accomplished as you.
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, not exactly, because like you host and like meet all these famous people and do all this stuff. I was like, but I have made my way into my own like group of things that I'm working with, like the different studios, truly working with the different studios out here and have connections and all that stuff. And I was like, that's just like a really cool feeling. So
it was awesome. So we're still riding that wave.
I'm happy. I'm feeling good. Love that it was for Wicked.
So cool. So fun. It was awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope you are as proud of yourself as you can be, because I was very proud of you.
Thank you. It was a blast, truly.
It was really good. From our whole crazy week, the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, all in the same day.
And I'm sorry. I'm a little bit sniffly because I'm a little bit under the weather, so I apologize. Sorry.
All good.
I can tell I'm like...
Gross.
Sorry.
But that's about that sound you just made is about how good the Wendy's Krabby Patty meal was. Now, I have some caveats, but I am here to report the news. We went at the end of the gig. We're like, let's drive through and see what's up, because it's right next to our house. So we go. If you haven't been following along, SpongeBob and Wendy's are doing a collab, a Krabby Patty meal with a Krabby Patty, which is a burger.
Kind of a collab. I would call it a half collab.
Yeah, half lab.
Yeah, it's not like a McDonald's collab where they go all out. It's like some stores went all out and some stores...
Yeah, crazy. Our store did not go all out. In fact, they basically went out. You're supposed to get a Krabby Patty, which is like a normal Dave's single or Dave's double with a special sauce. And then it comes with a pineapple upside down... No, pineapple under the sea Frosty.
Just a vanilla Frosty with pineapple.
With pineapple in it. So we go and we order it and we get the burger and they're like, we don't have any pineapple.
We paid for it and they're like, oh, we're out of pineapple.
So we can't do that. I was like, okay. So basically we just got a quote unquote Krabby Patty, which is just a Wendy's burger with a different sauce on it.
Like watered down Thousand Island sauce.
But good news is when we bit into the burger, it was equally underwhelming. It didn't help that we also got the food that we wanted.
Yeah.
And that we love.
But I was really hoping that it would be like good.
Yeah.
Like truly. And I was like, whatever the sauce is. Even for me, I was like, maybe it's like a pineapple-y.
No.
Like sauce, you know, that's like, it's like a sweet and savory kind of thing, like a spicy pineapple or something. No.
It needed to be jellyfish jelly or secret sauce, the Krabby Patty secret formula sauce. If that is what's got all the people in Bikini Bottom loving Krabby Patties.
Man, they've never had an In-N-Out burger.
Or just a normal Wendy's burger.
Or a Shake Shack burger or anything that has with any of the good
or
sauces.
Or food at all.
Yeah.
We actually are big fans of Wendy's. We don't go there a lot, but when we do, it's typically pretty great. But it was a bummer. And I wanted to follow up and follow through because we don't always do that.
We did today.
I don't want to mention the Eggo brunch in a jar
incident. We had someone who did it for us. It's okay.
Yeah.
We had boots on the ground who tried it out.
Right.
John
Field
Homer.
reporter.
That's right.
But, I don't know if you know about this collaboration. I think Burger King and the Addams Family or Burger King and Wednesday?
And I would like to figure out what that is. I meant to look into it. You know what? While you're talking.
You're going to look into it?
Yeah, because I literally heard that last night or saw that or something. And I was like, I like Wednesday.
It does seem like a lot of fast food places are doing collabs right now.
Collabs.
At the Burger King, and I don't know if it's Wednesday or Addams Family, but the burger buns are purple and the fries might be purple too. It was a very odd and very interesting, pardon me, excuse me, interesting thing to see. But hey, I am here for it. I think all these restaurants are desperately trying to figure out how to get people to come to them. I think since 2020, most people don't want to leave their houses for just about anything. Anyway, did you find anything?
All right, here we go. I'm going to ring them to you.
Ring them out, baby.
We have Wednesday's Whopper.
Whopper. We still never had a Whopper. Should this be the first Whopper we have?
Well, let's read it and see. Enjoy the iconic flame-grilled Whopper topped with Swiss cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, mayo, ketchup, pickles, and onions, all toasted on a purple bun that gets its hue from purple potato topped with black sesame seeds. Things Rings. Hold tight to Things Rings. Signature BK crispy onion rings served with themed packaging of the Addams Family beloved mysterious one-handed helper thing.
Okay.
Gomez's churro fries. Keep the flames of love alive with Gomez's churro fries. Deliciously crispy fried churros coated in cinnamon sugar and paired with a chocolate dipping sauce. And Morticia's kooky chocolate shake. You don't have to be a psychic to know that you'll love this delicious shake that features creamy soft serve mixed with chocolate cake batter fudge and topped with black and purple cookie pieces.
Okay. First of all, they are going all out. That is a menu.
It is a menu.
Not like the Wendy's one. Also, if you haven't checked it out, we did post 2 videos on our TikTok that were collabs, potential cartoon and restaurant collabs
that we think should happen.
Yes, with some visual aids.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, see that? That looks like a pretty patty. It looks like a purple pretty patty.
And what if there's more? Oh, here's all of it.
Nice. Well, maybe we'll.
I mean, it's themed, which I think is really cool. That it has like the things on there. It does kind of feel like they took what they had and they were like, well, we'll just.
Yeah, but still, I mean, at least there's packaging.
That's true.
Ours didn't even have packaging.
I know. Some people got packaging. Some people got these cool, like, what would look like Happy Meal boxes that were like SpongeBob themed. Mm-hmm. Some people got stickers on their bags. We got no pineapple in our Frosty and a bad secret sauce.
Yeah. 0 stars. It was not for me, but we'll see. Maybe we'll try that the Addams Family one, and then we'll let you know. We don't go to Burger King very often. We've never had a Whopper, as I said, so it would be a weird time to start. But we shall see.
It was a good thing on mine.
It just reminded me. I was doing when our house flooded the first time this year. I was doing work around the house with your dad, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, we're just like walking past each other, and he's like do 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 do, and I was like. And then I asked, I was like, are you singing the Addams Family? He's like, yep. And just kept walking. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Just randomly singing the Addams Family theme?
I do that. Well, not the Addams Family, but
I was laughing so
Taylor
hard.
Swift mostly for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's music.
Or I wake up in the morning, gonna hit this city.
There you go. Oh my gosh. I know that the Diddy stuff's going to come up on one of our episodes.
I'm gonna hit P. Diddy.
Of Hardly Holidays.
Sorry.
Anyway. I'm sure it'll come up as one of the biggest stories of the year. But until then, we'll leave it at that. I want to get into a few more things. It is spooky season. And we had a story last week, which I'm not going to jump into yet because I want to get into before that. I want to get into that happened today.
Oh.
But we do have a follow-up on the story from last week. If you didn't hear it, I'll give you a little recap in a minute. But first, that happened today.
What happened today?
I should probably tell you the date, right?
What date?
Because you like to say, thanks, that date.
Yeah, what date are we talking about?
Good question. It's
What's the
October
date?
16th.
Ooh, October 16th.
Almost the Ides of October. Just a little past the Ides of October.
October 16th.
Of course, as usual, lots of fun things happened this day throughout history. Of course, 47 years ago in 1977, the year of Star Wars has nothing to do with that. Something much cooler happened.
Okay.
It was the first Chuck E. Cheese restaurant ever to open. Chuck E. freaking cheese.
I loved Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid.
Of course.
I don't know if it's like still cool to go to now with like Dave and Buster's or whatever. Like I have no idea, but I loved Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was an arcade with pizza.
Yeah.
And I guess
animatronic.
entertainment.
Yeah,
But I don't remember ever really seeing that.
I did.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it creepy?
Creepier now. Back then,
It's
I don't
a
know that it was that
world
creepy.
of laughter, a world
Think of that
of
Gravity
cheer.
Falls.
Yeah.
Theme.
Just like
It's
that.
literally that. Like that mouse. I'm like, yeah, that's like the Chuck E. Cheese mouse.
You know what sucks is now with all of this artificial intelligence and robotics and stuff, we now have the technology to do that stuff really well. But I don't think anyone's ever going to do that for restaurant children's entertainment.
No.
Children's restaurant entertainment?
No.
You know what I mean. But Chuck E. Cheese, do you know what the E stands for?
Entertainment.
Yes.
Chuck Entertainment Cheese.
No, Charles
Entertainment.
Cheese. Maybe one of the
Chuck E.
best
Cheese.
names in the world. Opened in San Jose, California.
Yeah.
So shout out to Charles.
What year?
1977.
Dang.
47 years ago.
Wow.
This one, the next one, I was like, this is why we have Hardly Working, is for stories like this.
Don't break our chairs.
There are chairs, so we can break them if we want to. First person to survive Niagara Falls in a barrel.
Oh my God.
This is amazing. Do you remember the Drunk History episode?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like this happened a bunch and then someone actually died.
I'm sure people have. I do not have
Because they were like, we
that
can
research.
survive going down Niagara Falls. Have you been to Niagara Falls? Ever?
No. But you have. You're like, I was in Vancouver at Niagara Falls.
No, Toronto.
Like,
I've been to both, but
yeah, you have. One was better than the other, though.
yeah, Niagara Falls was great. I'm just kidding.
So anyway, Annie Edson Taylor became the first person to survive going over Niagara Falls in a barrel.
Was it out of necessity or fun?
It was out of fun.
Silly.
This person,
Silly.
she would have been like the insane person in your life. Listen, she was a school teacher seeking fame and fortune.
Sounds right.
But her daring feat remains to this day one of the most infamous stunts associated with the falls. I don't know how you do it, why you do it, but she did it 123 years ago in 1901.
That's crazy.
1901.
That's crazy.
And she survived.
Niagara Falls is cool, just for the record. It's large and in charge and wet, but it's beautiful.
I'm not going to touch that one.
It is really fun though, like to go and be that close to nature and to see like just these falls. It's insane.
You know, we were talking about this the other day because an acquaintance of mine who lives in Toronto actually posted a photo of the Northern Lights. Occasionally, you can see the Northern Lights from Canada.
Just crazy.
It was awesome.
It's my dream.
And Kelly was like, "That looks so beautiful."
list.
And do you remember what I said?
You're gonna pay a bunch of money to go and see it. How long are you gonna look at it for?
I said that looks so expensive.
Oh,
I said I feel
Which
like
is
it's like
basically what I
nature's
said.
fireworks. Yes, it'd be beautiful if it just happened here one
my
night.
gosh.
I'd be like, "This is amazing." But if I'm gonna shell out a ticket to Iceland or even Toronto to go sleep in, I don't know, a yurt, maybe. I don't know what you have to sleep in order to see it.
hotel?
But isn't the point at night to like sleep under the stars, under the lights?
Sure. Yes, you can. Yes, I hear what you're saying, but like, you have these weird ideas sometimes. You have to camp in order to see the Northern Lights. I'm like, no, you don't.
That's the whole
Crazy
point.
psycho person.
That's the whole point. Maybe I just saw a video of those half dome see-through
Yeah, but
structures.
you don't have to do that. You could though. It'd be an experience.
It just
You're
sounds.
sometimes adverse to like new things.
I'm not averse to new things. I'm averse to nature.
And if you're inside a yurt,
It's still
anyways,
too much.
it's besides the point. It is a bucket list for me, and he could care less. And that is marriage. It's okay. It's totally fine.
You knew what you were getting when you married me.
100%. You also knew what you were getting when you married me.
And I've made most of those dreams, even beyond those dreams, come true.
Yeah. Northern Lights.
Look, you're a famous photo boother now.
I'm not a famous photo boother.
You're
But I work in that way.
large and in
I'm just kidding.
charge and all the other words. Hey, other things happened though. About 20 years after that, in 1923, I didn't even know this existed. Dinosaur eggs discovered in Mongolia. Did you know that?
Whoa.
In In 1923,
Do they
100?
hatch them? Are they secretly alive? Do we have Jurassic World for real?
Oh my gosh, I didn't tell you about this because we just went long last week, so I didn't do the story. But speaking of Jurassic World and stuff, there was this dude.
Oh.
What does that look?
They're coming out with another Jurassic World, and Jonathan Bailey's going to be in it.
Oh, you and your friends are gonna.
He's a Wicked
that.
too, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, I've got nothing against him. I just don't think I need another Jurassic anything.
I don't know either, but I would watch it for Jonathan Bailey.
And I bet you will. When it comes to streaming, I bet you will.
We'll see.
Anyway, there's this dude. I can't remember where he is right now, but he's in America, and he basically like purchased one of like the largest sheeps you can have. And then also got, I think, just the testicle or genetic makeup of a very, very large ram that gets hunted. And he genetically spliced them together to create an even larger animal, like a larger sheep ram deal.
Like a woolly mammoth.
Yeah, it's in the news not just because of that. Apparently, he was kind of hailed by the scientific community for doing this, but the government, like, put him in jail. Yeah, they're like, you can't create new animals.
I mean,
but here's the bummer part.
But anyways,
I think it has to be like sanctioned because if you remember in like 2001, there was like Dolly the sheep, and they cloned a sheep, and that was a big deal. He was also trying to clone these animals because he was going to sell them to people to hunt.
Oh.
And I think that's where the government was like, not cool, bro.
Yeah.
Not cool. Which is good because it's a dangerous, slippery slope to the most dangerous game.
True.
Yeah.
Good book.
It was a book? Yeah, it was. I'm the most dangerous.
And then I think it was a movie or something.
I'm sure they've done it multitude of times. Anyway, on October 16th, 1923, an expedition in the Gobi Desert, which sounds like a fun desert. I'm sure it's not. In Mongolia, led to the discovery of the first fossilized dinosaur eggs. Dang. So it wasn't like, ooh, they're about to hatch. They're fossilized. Yeah. But still, pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And crucial evidence that dinosaurs, or of how dinosaurs reproduce. So that's kind of a big deal.
That's true, yeah.
I'm not sure if they knew before. A couple things I'll just throw out there real quick because those are some of my favorite ones. But Sony introduced Betamax VCRs 49 years ago in 1975. Wow. Betamax was before my time. I don't know that. Yeah, had any of that, but being a VCRs were my time for sure.
100%
with VHS tapes.
Oh yeah.
So it says in '75, Sony introduced Betamax VCR, which became part of the famous format war between Betamax and VHS. Although VHS ultimately won, Betamax was revolutionary in bringing video recording technology into your home. That just really wasn't something you could do
crazy.
before.
And now TiVo, you can just with the press of a button record anything you want.
Did you ever record things onto VHS tapes growing up? Like from TV?
I'm sure I did. I couldn't really tell you though. I was mostly like watching that type of stuff.
Well, gather around, children.
I'm sure we did. I'm sure I did.
We're about to tell you some stuff.
I think we accidentally recorded over things.
That was always a risk. Back in my day, we had these big bricks that were called VHS tapes. They were like small books, about an inch thick. You probably know them because of nostalgia for Disney. But you could buy blank tapes with nothing on them. Yes. And you put them in the VCR, and they had a little record button, and it would record whatever was on the television. Whatever channel you were on, it would record that.
Which is crazy.
The problem is, not only could you do that, but sometimes the video cameras, before we had cell phones that just recorded stuff, some of the video cameras took those types of tapes, or you'd have smaller tapes or whatever, and you put it onto a VHS tape. So you might have a tape that was like, Our Wedding in 1982, and it's like the whole thing shot from a camcorder or video camera on a VHS tape. Well, if you didn't label that, you might accidentally record over your wedding video for the sake of, a Rankin Bass Rudolph Christmas special or something.
Who knows? Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yes, we finally recorded the Christmas special. Now we can watch it whenever.
Be like a piece of your wedding.
But our ceremony's gone.
Yeah. I think we did that to like a play that I was in.
Oh, I'm
like one of the first plays I was in.
That was a wild time. Entertainment, or what do they call it? Like scheduled or entertainment, or you had to be somewhere and film it or record it if you wanted to watch it, or watch it when it happened.
Stream it.
It was good times. It was not good times, but it was really exciting when you could record something. The ability to hold on to something. This is pre-TiVo, pre-DVR, way before streaming. We were talking to our kid. I was talking to our kid. I was like, we used to get like, as a kid, you get a new episode of a show, like a cartoon, pretty much every Saturday when it was when they were making new ones. And that was it. If you missed it at 10 a.m. on Saturday, That was it for a while.
Yeah, unless
Like-
you got lucky and you had like the reruns on like
Maybe
whatever
like
day
2
was.
o'clock the same day, they might play
Yeah.
the same one. But usually
Yeah.
from 2 to 3, they'd play like old episodes of that show that was new.
Yeah.
It's like if you missed it, you were out of luck.
Yeah.
Our kids like, what do you mean miss it? Like I can watch any episode I want right now
I know. I'm like, yeah, whatever, kid.
and the entire season.
I know.
I'm sure I've talked about this, but I used to buy the box sets of TV shows, like one season at a time.
Yeah.
We're talking like 12 to 20 episodes for like 60 bones.
Bones.
$60.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Can I say this though? Because since we're talking about this, 2 things. I had 2 thoughts. One, I just built a Lego set that was like Disney villains that had a VH tape in
Yeah,
that, and it was so
VHS,
fun.
yeah.
VHS tape, but it was fun to watch.
VH
Brooklyn.
tape is a Vault Hunter tape.
Got it. I see that, Borderlands. But Brooklyn was like, I know what that is. It's like one of those old tapes or whatever.
Ew.
But it was so cool because it like opened up on the top and you could like see the film, and the film had like for the Lego had stickers on it to show like
frame
Ariel.
by frame.
Yeah, it was so fun. Anyways, but what I was gonna say is, you know, I hear what you're saying about like, you know, they are releasing seasons just like the season at a time, but they've started to do this thing now with streamers, which
This
I'm
new thing.
actually really enjoying.
Yeah.
And you're watching me do this where they are releasing 1 episode a week. For certain things, which some people hate.
It's a
some people love.
revolutionary idea.
It's not, but there is something about it. Like for me, where I'm like, yeah, it does allow you to anticipate it more and get more excited.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically for me with Agatha All Along in this season, which I am absolutely loving. Like over the moon, love it. Just rewatched all of it. I have 1 more episode to rewatch, but I just rewatched it because I love it that much. But it is so fun. You've seen me. You've been like, I love that you're so excited about it. I'm like every
Yeah.
Wednesday, I'm like, or maybe it's Thursday, whatever day it is. I'm so excited for it to come out. This week, I really thought it was coming out every single day. I was like,
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
today? It's not today. Is it today? But I'm like so excited.
Is it a good spooky season show?
It is a perfect spooky season show. And truly, Catherine Hahn has to be one of the best. Someone said it in an interview, and I was like, it's true. Like her facial expressions
She's great.
are out of this world. And
always
like
been
she's
great.
such a great, she communicates so much with her face. She like, without even saying words, like you're like, oh my gosh, she just told you this by that. And I think it's like just so fun and so fun to watch her. It's an amazing cast. Truly, it's so fun. They took a weird risk with it, but it is amazing. Okay, sorry. But all that to say is that I miss and enjoy and I am enjoying we are going to release 1 episode a week because that anticipation level is kind of fun. You said Brooklyn will never experience that. She will at some point in time, but
Sure.
but
Yeah, when streamers realize that it's more about keeping customers.
it's exciting for me though. I'll stay
Good.
with Disney Plus to finish Agatha.
as
Like
if we were ever going to leave.
I know, but you know what I mean? It's like a fun thing for me. Anyway.
All right, a couple more things real quick. The birth of Kellogg's Corn Flakes 118 years ago.
Okay.
There's some lore around that we'll skip over for now, but I definitely wanted to throw it out there.
Okay.
But the most important one, in my opinion,
For October
happened
16th.
for October 16th. Thanks, October 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Happened 23 years ago in 2001. It was Steve Jobs introducing the iPod.
Wow. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. That's a wild story at the end. Tale for another time. But I will say, live your life right now because it doesn't matter how much money or success you have because you can't buy yourself a single second.
No.
The reason why I think this is so important, though, is I think this is really what set off the long line of where we are technologically now.
With the iPod?
Without the iPod, we
Oh,
don't
yeah.
get the iPhone and everything else that we've, I don't know, somehow merged into our being.
You had an iPod, right?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Me
I don't
too.
think I had the first one,
No.
but maybe
Well-
like the second. I had the clicky wheel one for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I was
It
like,
had
I may
4
have.
buttons. It was weird.
Yeah. And an iPod mini.
I think they still, in a shuffle.
A shuffle. That's
And
what
a
it was.
Nano?
Like the tiny one. The one that like.
Yeah, it
clipped
was
on.
a clip one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy to me that, I mean, I think we looked this up. I think they do still sell them.
I think they kind of came back too.
Yeah. But like it was a crazy thing to be like, oh yeah, it doesn't really exist anymore. But for us, it was like a big deal because you went from a CD player
Yeah.
to iPod. And you were like, wow, I have so many songs on here.
Yep.
It's
And this
an-
was
it's an-
before like Spotify and stuff. You had to pay per song.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yep.
Or LimeWire.
Yeah, there was that too. Or
Well,
Napster or whatever. Name it. Claim it.
Oopsie.
Now no one has to do that anymore
No,
because
it's
it's
just
just
all
like,
out there. Yeah.
just stream it.
Well, thanks, October 16th.
Thanks, October 16th.
And can I say two things?
Sure.
Before we get away from October 16th.
Hit me with two things.
Happy anniversary to my parents. 42 years on 10/10.
Oh, yeah, that was the other day.
42 years. That's a long freaking time.
Happy schmaniversary.
Yeah. I really thought they got married in 84, but 82. My bad.
Okay. And what's the other thing?
And happy early birthday, Simone. Tomorrow's your birthday.
Oh,
October 17th.
that's right.
Sure, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And everyone in Hardly Working is wishing you a happy birthday.
I thought you were going to be like, and everyone who listens in October and has your birthday, happy birthday to you too.
No, just for the bestie.
Just shim.
Yeah.
Just shimmeroony. Love you, buddy.
It's just so close, too. It's literally tomorrow.
It's the very next day after today.
Very next day. All right,
Very next
thanks,
day.
October 16th.
I teased it a little bit earlier today. It is spooky season, and we had a little bit of a spooky story come through last week. A story of a woman. I found out this week that her name is Megan. Not
Megan.
spelled the same as my sister. No H in this one.
Megan.
Home alone.
Home alone while her husband's at work.
Who works the night shift. Stuff starts happening in the house. The TV's kind of
Questions were left unanswered.
Doors were knocked on
Yeah.
with no one there.
Questions were left unanswered.
Curtains were moving and
I'm
Like-
going to ask.
Oh, you've got
I'm
questions?
gonna ask the questions that were unanswered. Yeah,
All right, ask
questions
the
were left
questions.
unanswered. Like, what was on that tape that showed up of her?
What tape are you talking about?
The video
Because
tape.
you didn't let me get to it
Because
yet.
people that listen are listening. What was on what was on the TV? What was on that home video of her that she never fully watched? Was there someone behind the curtain? Did she fall asleep in her locked room? Or did somebody appear? What happened? Let's find out.
Hit the music! It'd been almost a month since that night. Since the flickering lights, the strange knocking, and the shadow in the corner. I told my husband what happened, but he didn't think it was a big deal, at least not as big as I made it out to be. Still, he agreed to get a dog to help me feel comfortable while he worked the late shift.
It's one way to get a dog.
I know. I'm just waiting for you to be like, spooky things happened
Well,
yesterday.
you were gone, so there's a cat here now.
So,
Just kidding.
Anyway, we adopted Buddy, a yellow lab retriever, from the shelter. For the first few weeks, things seemed better. Buddy was sweet, always by my side, and for a while, I almost forgot about what happened. But then, it started again. At first, it was little things, flickering lights, the TV turning on for a second before switching off, the strange buzz in the air that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Each time it happened, Buddy would sense it just before I did. He'd stop, his ears twitched, he'd sniff the air as if he could sense or smell something that I couldn't. Then, one day, something strange happened. I walked into the living room, and Buddy was standing perfectly still in front of the TV. He was off, but he was staring at the screen, his body rigid, ears perked up. Buddy, I called softly, but he didn't respond. He didn't even twitch. Buddy, come here. I tried again, louder this time, but still nothing. He just stood there, staring at the blank screen. I walked over, gently nudging him, but he didn't budge. That's when the TV flickered to life on its own. My heart skipped a beat as a familiar static cleared, and I saw the same home video from that night. The one that had no business playing. It was me as a child, playing in the backyard. But now something was different. I stared at the screen, my breath catching in my throat. At first, it was just the familiar scene, me running, laughing. Then I saw it. In the background, a woman. She was standing near the edge of the yard, partially hidden by the bushes. Her clothes looked old, out of place, like it didn't belong, like it was from another time. I stepped closer to the screen, my heart racing. I didn't recognize her. She wasn't anyone I knew, and she definitely wasn't in that video the last time I watched it. A chill ran down my spine as I leaned in, trying to get a better look. The woman stood completely still, her face pale, almost blurry, as if she didn't quite belong in the frame. She was watching me. She was watching the little me in the video. I Backed away, my pulse pounding in my ears. I could feel Buddy's body still tense next to me, his eyes locked on the screen. He hadn't moved since the TV had turned on. The air around us felt heavy, thick, like it was closing in. Who was she? I didn't have time to think. The lights flickered again, and the TV snapped off, leaving me in silence. Buddy finally stirred, shaking himself and looking up at me, his tail wagging nervously. I knelt down, trying to steady my breathing, my hands trembling as I stroked his fur. I didn't know what I had just seen, but it felt wrong. The woman in the video, she didn't belong there. She wasn't part of that memory. That night I tried to shake it off, and I told myself I was just imagining things. That maybe it was a glitch in the video or my mind playing tricks on me, but deep down, I knew it was more than that. Something was happening in the house. The next few days were no easier. Buddy kept acting strange, standing by the basement door, sniffing the air, whining at something I couldn't see. The lights kept flickering, the house felt colder, and a feeling of being watched never left. Then one night, everything changed. The end.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just kidding, I have more. It was late. A little bit more here. It was late. And I was sitting on the couch when Buddy's low growl filled the room again. He was at the back door, nose pressed to the glass, staring out in the yard. My pulse quickened. I followed his gaze, but all I saw was darkness beyond the porch light. "Buddy, come on," I muttered, pulling him away, but he jerked free and bolted outside. "Buddy!" I shouted after him and started running out into the cold night air. He was already halfway across the yard, barking and digging near the old oak tree. I had grabbed a flashlight and I hurried over, my heart pounding. Buddy was digging like mad, his paws clawing at the dirt, barking louder and louder. "Buddy, stop!" I tried to pull him back, but he wouldn't budge. His barking turned frantic as his paws unearthed something buried. I knelt beside him, my hands shaking, and I started pulling at the dirt. My finger scraped against something hard. I shone the flashlight into the hole. I saw a bundle wrapped in what looked like an old, rotting rug. My stomach churned as I pulled the fabric back. Inside were trinkets. Tiny silver lockets, rusted rings, small baby shoes, old worn items, too old, too personal. My breath caught as I pulled back the last layer of the rug. There was one final item, a leather-bound journal. The edges were frayed, the pages yellowed with age, but the name written on the cover was clear. It was not my name. But it was a woman's name, one I didn't recognize. I opened the journal, flipping through the pages, my heart pounding. The entries were dated 1804, 1857, 1912, each written by different women, and they had all lived in this house. I felt a chill crawl up my spine as I read their names, their stories, but then I heard a low growl, and it wasn't Buddy. I froze, clutching the journal to my chest. The growl grew even louder, even closer. I turned slowly, the flashlight shaking in my hand, and saw Buddy, his fur bristled, growling at the tree behind me. My heart hammered as I stumbled to my feet, the journal slipping from my fingers, but I didn't care. I backed away, pulling Buddy with me. Whatever was out there, I didn't want to see it. I ran inside, locking the door behind me, the journal still outside in the dirt. I couldn't bring myself to go back for it, not that night. But I couldn't shake the feeling that whatever I had found, those names, those dates, were somehow connected to something dark, something dangerous, and it wasn't finished with me yet. The end.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm glad nothing happened to the dog. I was like,
Buddy's good.
You don't introduce a dog into a story unless you're going to pull on your heartstrings with it. Unless you're going to I Am Legend this. Unless you're going to Old Yeller this dog.
I Am Legend. It was so sad.
Oh, did any of your questions get answered?
Some of them. Now I have more questions. I'm sure will be answered next week.
On Thanks, Spooky Season.
Guess so.
Anyway, you can always send us your fun stories, spooky stories, articles, stories, unpopular opinions, shout outs, whatever you want. You can hit us up on our socials at It's Hardly Working on Instagram and TikTok. We spend most of our time on TikTok, and that's the best way to get a schmold of us. You ready for some real stories?
Yeah, I am.
Ready to kick it off?
That's a good story, though.
Did you like it this time?
Scary stories.
I like it because I get to be in here with you as you hear it, and you're like, ooh, ooh, and I can hear you quiet. And then occasionally off mic, you go,
Yeah.
As is our life. All right. Do you remember growing up any albums that were like really important to you? Any records, CDs, I guess?
It's like albums. How old do you think I am? I mean, they're back now, but
Well, I mean, that's a
albums that
record.
were-
I think an album is just what you call.
Sure. But yeah, anything that was really important to me, like at a certain point in my life.
Like slightly under or over 10, you know? Like do you remember your first CD or anything like that? Anything musically like that stands out to you?
When I was younger, I really liked listening to the Hercules soundtrack or Anastasia soundtrack.
You're
Those
the
were-
woman I want. That's not right.
No, Anastasia was a big deal for me too. Have you heard there's a rumor in St. Petersburg? Have you heard what they're saying on the streets?
No. I've never seen Anastasia.
Oh, it's so
I mean,
good.
I did take you to Anastasia on Broadway.
Yeah. Yep,
Our
Pantages.
version of
Yep.
Broadway. But I don't remember
That
it.
was a big deal for me.
You were a singer. I figured you'd have something locked and
Christina
loaded.
Aguilera, Britney Spears, and NSYNC were big deals for me. And then JoJo.
Siwa?
No.
Oh.
JoJo.
People are scared for JoJo Siwa, by the way.
Why?
Because she was at some dance award show and she
Yeah.
got an award or she presented and she said something about Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like, I'll make sure to thank them so I don't get whatevered. Have you heard about them in the P. Diddy stuff?
Yeah,
No?
I'm the one who told you.
Yeah. But she made light of it, which I think was bold and comedic, but
She doesn't
people
care,
are
yeah.
scared. People are scared. Anyway, I remember my first CD was the Space Jam soundtrack.
Oh, come on.
Welcome to the Space Jam. And then second CD was a like 12 tracks of entrance music for what was WWF Superstars.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I loved it because I would always like pretend to be a wrestler anyway, like secretly in my room.
Yeah.
So to have intro music
Yeah.
was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Through the big old boom box. Did you have a big boom box?
Yeah.
Which had like the two big speakers and the equally big center thing that
Yeah, I
had
play
like
Savage Garden on there a lot.
Savage Garden. I can't name a single Savage Garden song.
God, I knew you were going to say that. And we
Can you take me? That's Creed.
No, that's not Savage Garden.
Well, while
They
you
had, like,
pull
the
up
one-
Savage Garden for our 90s podcast, the reason I ask is because
I want to stay with you on a mountain.
this is not the first time we've sung this on the podcast.
Stay with you in the sea. I want to stay with you forever.
Until the sky falls down on me. I've got sunshine.
Sorry. But yeah, Savage Garden was a big deal too.
Well, for me, there was a couple records that were a big deal, and I was into like the pop punk kind of stuff, and I wouldn't say
Green
punk
Day.
music, but exactly.
Blink-182.
You know, the Green Day, like their American Idiot album is what I learned how to play guitar to and how to sing to, which is why I sing terribly. But even before that album, they had a huge album. You've probably heard the title. It's called Dookie, which is hilarious. But let me see. Let me tell you some of the songs that were on there, and I guarantee that you'll know what the songs are. Here you go. How about Welcome to Paradise? Welcome to Paradise. You know that song?
No.
All right. Well, I'm sure you know this song. Basket Case. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. My eyes feel like they're gonna bleed. You know that song?
No.
Well, I can double guarantee that you're gonna know. Gosh, she's so uncultured. When I Come Around. When I Come Around.
Yeah, got you there.
How about the song that they always play at graduations and stuff? Another turning point,
Yeah.
a fork stuck in the road.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure that was on there. And even if it's not, I'm just trying to find any Green Day song. That
I mean,
you know.
I know Green Day, but not
Do you?
those ones. Yeah.
Do you? Long Views on here, Basket Case, like I said, so many things. I saw this article and I thought it was hysterical because Green Day is reissuing that Dookie album.
Why?
I don't know. But a lot of artists do
Did they
this.
like re-record it all now?
Man, you are asking all the right questions
Okay.
because a lot of artists will remaster or
Yeah.
re-record.
Taylor Swift, for instance.
Exactly. What Green Day is doing is re-releasing their reissuing their Dookie album but on the most inconvenient formats that anyone can use. For instance, if you want to hear Welcome to Paradise, you're going to have to purchase the big mouth bass that sings it. It's like,
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
heck yeah. So they've taken all of these songs and put them on the worst possible, most inconvenient ways to listen to it. There's a Teddy Ruxpin, which is a teddy bear that plays music.
Yeah.
There's a toothbrush.
I was gonna say toothbrush.
Remember those toothbrushes that when you brushed, you could like hear a song? I never had one, but I wanted it. So you can listen to that. They've got 8 tracks. They've got a floppy disk.
Oh my God, why are they doing this?
A Game Boy cartridge, a doorbell. That just looks like a roll of paper. That's an X-ray. Look at this. Remember these
I do.
hit clips?
I do.
So anyway, they've re-released this album in the most inconvenient ways.
What's the thought process behind it?
I don't know. I think it's just like a punk rock thing to do. I think it's for funsies.
Sure.
Let me see. So it says, it's 30 years since that album came out, which is crazy. 15 different formats. They haven't released every single one, but it says each track on the album correlates to an object, many of which are near obsolete, that will play some semblance of its song. There's a toothbrush, a floppy disk, a Teddy Ruxpin, and more that would be an absolute pain in the ass to listen to. Will it sound good? Absolutely not. Will you even be able to hear the whole song? Unlikely, but it's kind of funny. Yeah. I guess so. Who's the sellout now? So anyway, I thought that was
hysterical.
awesome. I'll even give you, I forgot that this is on here. You can see right here, they've got a little clip of this, putting a floppy disk in, an old CD player, a big mouth bass. Listen to it. The way it was meant to be heard. What do they call that? The big record thing with big horn on it?
I can't remember, but yeah.
A viola, a vuvuzela, a toy record player.
That's insane.
It is awesome.
Well, fun. I'll buy you the record.
Well, I would like to announce that we are putting out a special version of our podcast for our 100th episode that you can only listen to in Volkswagen Beetles. So if you want to listen to that, buy yourself a Volkswagen Beetle and you can listen to our stuff.
No.
Now, the rest of the stories this week have a common theme. Hi.
Look at the TV.
Oh, it's perfect.
I know.
Yeah, we're such nerds. We're holding hands. Perfectly. The theme of these stories is people are so stupid. That's the theme.
Well, I already knew that.
And I would even put Green Day's album that we just talked about in the category for this. But we've been talking about it all week, so I'm going to bring a few of these up because I want to get your take on them. Disney World fanatics saying no to Milton and yes to Mickey. Groups of influencers leaving their safe home states to fly out to Disney World in the midst of a hurricane.
We've talked a lot about this week because that's like what seemed to have populated my FYP page of like, I told you a couple of stories. Sorry, do you have more?
No, go ahead.
I told you a couple of stories about people, one family or one person in particular who literally was like posted probably the day before, maybe 36 hours before Milton was supposed to like really hit. And truly in her TikTok video, she was like, we're at Disney World. We're finally here. We're so excited. It's like a dream come true, all this stuff. But like, I don't want to think about like the doom and gloom of the hurricane. So like, please don't do that. We're just here on vacation to have fun. And no joke, two like videos later, she's like crying on her TikTok. Like, we're not staying at a Disney property and we're somewhere and it's scary and all this stuff.
Kellie said it. We've been talking about this a lot this week because obviously there's been 2 major hurricanes in the last like 3 weeks, Helene and now Milton. And I think what's happening is people, particularly the influencer culture, somehow thinks that the real world stuff doesn't apply to them. Like, it's a hurricane, but like, I haven't died yet. So,
so we're totally
this is
fine.
going to hurt me. Like, it will.
Yeah.
Don't fly to the disaster to tempt it.
For sure. And there are some people that were there that legitimately got stuck. Like, they had their vacation planned before this. They were like, our flights got canceled. And we can't. And we've been trying to get a flight out. Like we were supposed to go home on Sunday.
Florida.
We're supposed to leave on Sunday.
Sure, that's different.
But our flights have been canceled, and so now we're kind of stuck here. And like we can't get a rental car. We can't get another flight out. We can't do anything. Like those people, I'm not mad at you. You went to your thing when you heard the news. You were trying to get out and you couldn't.
It's different than going.
The person that was like, it's Hurricane Day. Truly, this is the same girl. I told you about this. That on her daughter's birthday, she then lit the candle for her 2 other kids and let them come and blow out the candle on her daughter as her daughter like cried because she was so sad. I think she has 3. But like, isn't that so sad? I'm like, if we had another kid and it's Brooklyn's birthday, I'm like, sorry, dude, like it's your sister's birthday. Like you'll have your time. This is hers. Like you don't need to blow a candle out. It's not your birthday. You didn't do anything to earn it. It's the same lady that did that. That was also like on the day that Milton was supposed to hit. She was like, it's an hour and a half before we leave for Disney World. It's like,
it's so
Disney World closed down. What do you mean?
Yeah, not only is it stupid and dangerous, it's so insensitive. Not only to the people who had to leave to flee the hurricane
100%.
area,
but the people that worked there.
The ones who couldn't leave because either they couldn't afford to leave the house, something was keeping them there, it was too late to leave, they didn't have the gas mileage, the roads have been shut down, whatever it is. Like the people who at that point were likely going to lose their lives. Literally.
The people on the side of the road that had a sign, they ran out of gas. They couldn't find a gas station, ran out of gas, and literally held up a sign saying, please take my kids to safety.
See, but then you've got influencers who are like,
I don't know
tell me about the doom and gloom. I just want to live my life.
I don't know what happened to that family. I hope that they're okay.
Me too. But people are stupid.
They are crazy.
They figure it out.
And again, it's different for me. If you were there and then you got the thing and then you literally couldn't get out, that's a different story to me because how would you know if you didn't know? But to those that are going because they're like, yeah, like this is a trip we planned and we're going, or who were upset. People were upset that their Airbnbs got canceled or that their Disney or whatever. And I was like, these people are like losing their homes. There's people that have died.
It reminds me of like, the influencers we talked about a couple of weeks ago on the cruise who were like, this is a great idea. Abandon your kids in a bedroom on a cruise boat.
Not Abby, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's it's not like every influencer is toxic behavior, but I think when you get to the point where you're expected to produce content all the time, you lose sight of reality in real human experience for the sake of content and attention.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the downfall for a lot of these people, whether it's literally like we flew into a hurricane and that was the end of us, or enough people pushing back and giving backlash that you lose everything you built up. You can't lose your humanity in the pursuit of whatever level of stardom influencers get. I don't know.
Some of them did. So
I almost said this to you too. I actually may have sent it to you on TikTok. Speaking of our common theme of people are stupid. There was this lady, presumably in her backyard, and then there was this big deer kind of slowly walking up to her, and she was taking her phone out and filming it. She was on one of those lounge chairs just chilling. This deer, though, had big antlers, big spiky, not like moose ones that are like flat. These were the barb deer ones. And this thing keeps getting close, and she's filming it, and she's talking to it like, oh, you're so, no, man, don't get too close. Oh, you're so beautiful. Until the thing literally gently at first, like, puts its head down and pushes her with her the antlers.
Be like,
and she was like, oh, ow, okay. And keeps going after her. She didn't get trampled or anything. They stopped filming. But I was like, guys, the world is real. And we've seen too many videos and we've been too desensitized by the news and stuff that we believe that we're all invincible. That's a wild animal. Stay 100%. Away from those. Chimpanzees, stay away from those. Stay away from tigers. These things will kill you.
I know. Well, this is what we've had this conversation before where I go like, everything is content. You could, but for people, and so to an extent it bugs me. I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough money to like film my kid when I know that she's going to do something that gets her hurt. Just to film it, to watch her get hurt. You know how many videos I see of people doing that? Or their animals, like, oh, my animal's going to like fall off this thing. I'm like, I'm going to go pick my cat up or my dog or whatever because it's not worth it for me to have my animal get hurt. Or like my daughter, like I'm not going to let her like fall off this thing for the sake of being able to film it and be like, isn't that a funny video? Like it baffles my mind that people are like everything. And hear me, I understand everything is content in this world. But like, at what point in time do we go, maybe being a good human is like, you can maybe film it, but also like maybe make sure your kid is safe.
It's funny. I saw a video of either Disneyland or World. I don't know which. And it was someone in the Mickey outfit, the mascot version, and had a handler and they were walking them back.
Tripped over a kid.
A kid, yeah. Like a 2-year-old walking, but small.
And then he shamed the dad.
He did, which I thought was over the top. But basically, he picked up the kid. The Mickey Mouse did, like, help the kid up, or maybe the Wrangler did, whatever.
No, he did.
Mickey did, and then took the kid's hand, gently grabbed the parent's hand, put it together, clasped them together, pointed like, you, Dad, should be holding this kid's hand, watching this kid. This kid just got knocked over by me because I can't see anything in this outfit. Well, and you were too busy filming and doing that your kid could have got hurt.
The cast member could have gotten really hurt too. That could have been way worse had he actually fallen down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so many things could happen. His head could have popped off, like the mascot's head could have popped off.
Yeah, obviously.
I just wanted to be very clear. But you know what I mean? And I think it was okay for him to kind of shame him that way. I was like, this is like, you got to watch your kids. It's not everything is a recording moment.
I get it. It's a struggle. You want to capture moments, but like.
But then you have to have a kid that's to say well trained. That sounds bad. That's what I mean. But like, I look at, we talk about this a lot, but like, maybe we have too good of a kid. Maybe we're too hard on her. I don't think that that's true. But like our kid is never going to run away from us.
No.
And if she does, the moment we go, Brooklyn, like she's going to come right back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is no like, oh, I'm going to let her hand go and she's going to run and like get hurt or go do something stupid, because we've trained her and taught her and coached her that like, hey, if you do stupid stuff, you're going to get hurt. Mm-hmm. Or like if we're in a big crowd of people, don't leave us. You know, or hold my hand or whatever. Don't just walk into the street. Make sure you look both ways or wait. Like, I feel like there's not enough people like teaching their kids nowadays. And maybe that's a little harsh, but I'm like to not do stupid things or like to think through things. And here's the deal. I'm all for a kid being a kid and like trying things out and doing all of that stuff. But also I'm not going to let my kid like go and run around and be at a park all by herself or like walk down to the street to the store or whatever. I'm like, but we're still living in the 21st century or whatever this is considered.
I don't know.
Like it's like way scary. And so I'm going to make sure my kid is like, can 100%. Think through things, can understand that she just can't go places with strangers, and to also be aware of her surroundings. And she's still working on that one.
We've said this before, maybe even on the show. I think every generation believes they're living in the most dangerous time to be alive. And I think every generation is true. That's true. Like they think that, but also they're right.
Every year.
Yeah, because new dangers come up that we didn't have. I like to describe it like this. You know, when we were growing up and our parents were growing up, it was like, don't talk to strangers. Don't let a stranger with candy lure you into a van. Uh-huh. Those people were all out in the world. 100%. Now those people are in your living room because they're on your kid's phone or tablet. Mm-hmm. Not on them, but like your child and you are accessible to those people in your own home.
Killed by the sun over here. Sorry.
You bun and you sheldy.
That's okay.
It's because it's still
scary.
Summer here. It's 100 degrees.
But with that, like I hear you in that. But with that also, like it is about teaching your kids how to be in public as well. And it's just, I just think, I don't know. Maybe we have too much time with her and maybe we're lucky in that sense that we can train her on stuff. But like, it is insane when I just watch kids like run around and do different things. Like you're not even going to like watch your kid or like,
I know. It's nuts. Like, do you want a blanket for that, shoulder?
No. But sometimes I go like the field and like the other week, for instance, we were out and about. We had like a lovely day off where we went and grabbed lunch. Then we got crumble cookies for Brooklyn. You remember this?
Kind of.
There was this mom talking to her two friends, and they had a kid that could be no older than 3.
Yeah.
Somewhere between the two.
No, it was definitely younger. I'd say it was between 18 months to 2 years.
Okay. They were just walking around quite a bit. So I was like, they had to be old enough to do, so maybe in the 2s. But truly.
Not verbal though.
No, just but walking around through the sign. They let him walk over to place. And at some point in time, there was a little fountain in front of us. And I was like watching this kid, like this mom is too far away to come and grab this kid if this kid chooses to just go into this fountain.
Head first in this fountain.
And so I am here because as another mom, I'm going to be there. But like, but I don't know. Brooklyn would just never.
She wouldn't, but also we're not the type of parents that would just let our kid be 50 feet away from us.
That's what I mean, though, because at any point in time,
mall,
truly,
right, literally next to where cars are driving.
That's what I'm saying. That kid was far enough away from that parent that anybody could have grabbed that kid and put it in their car and be gone before the mom could even get there.
Easily.
So there are just some things like that. I mean, now we're getting into like a really intense topics, and I understand that. I think I just don't understand this society and like the lackadaisicalness. Mm-hmm. Of some parents, which you parent, how you parent, whatever you want to do. I think
as long as you're not hurting your kid.
Yeah, I'm just not psycho. I am a psycho parent. That's like no, like you can't go more than 10 feet from me, or no, you can't do this, you know?
That's not quite right. You'll let her go places as long as there's an understanding of where she's going, what's happening.
And I can see her.
Yeah.
Or be with earshot of her. And she knows that if I call her back, it's weird. We also have a very specific whistle for our family that anytime someone whistles in that way, any of us will turn and go because we know that that's for us.
Yep. It's like this.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, getting back to more lighthearted,
Sorry.
but also equally stupid
Teach your
people.
kids.
Teach your
Just kidding.
kids. Teach your wives. Teach your husbands.
But
teach
also
them
no
all.
judgment. Live your life.
This is not the first raccoon story we've done on the show.
Oh my God.
But it is another stupid person story. More than 100 raccoons besiege house of woman who has been feeding them.
I heard a little bit about this. Did
you really?
I didn't like read it all, but didn't the police have to get involved or
They
somebody
did.
get involved because there were too many raccoons?
Yeah, so this lady already had problems, like had to take her 3 dogs in to get, rabies shots and treated and stuff because they've gotten into scuffles with these raccoons. She must live in like the woods, but she's feeding these raccoons.
Maybe don't feed them.
Don't.
This falls in line with your theory or what you just said of like animals are not our friends.
They're not.
They're wild animals unless they're a trained dog, cat, guinea pig, rabbit.
Yeah, if you want to see some horrific evidence of that, just watch Chimp Crazy on HBO or Max.
Yeah, or
You
even
will learn.
Tiger King.
Even Tiger King. Yeah, that's so sad. Chimp Crazy is even worse, though.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, this woman has been feeding them. And so she opened her door or her window. I think she like looked out her front door and she couldn't leave her house because there was 100 or hundreds of raccoons who had swarmed over there. Apparently they had been breeding more rapidly too. And they were like, we're
Like
hungry.
rabbits.
Like we need it. So she called the cops and the cops were like, it was crazy. We've never seen so many raccoons. I hope someone helps this woman. Like, that's not their job.
Animal control.
Somebody. But
Yeah.
I'm like, Ram Dass said there's this great Hindu phrase, like, don't become friends with an elephant trainer unless you have room for an elephant in your living room. Don't feed raccoons unless, like, Pete Holmes says this, play out the tape. What happens at the end?
Yeah.
What's the best and worst case scenario?
Yeah,
of this?
like if I'm going to feed a cat, it's because I know that cat's probably going to come into my home.
Yeah.
And I'm prepared for that. Worst case is that the cat ends. It's actually best case that the cat would end up living with me. Worst case is the cat disappears and is nowhere to be seen anymore, and then you're sad that maybe it died. But like you play the tape all the way through. This cat may become mine, and that's happened. Not to you and me. But to me
I
and my
love that
family.
your example was basically the same as raccoons.
I want an
except
animal.
your worst case scenario was actually the best case scenario.
It's just one, though.
Didn't even consider that 100 cats could
No,
swarm
but
the
it's
house.
just one. Just one.
She probably started with just one raccoon.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
King Trashmouth.
Once there's 2, yeah, I hear you, Linda. But once there's 2 cats, then I'm thinking about it. Then I'm going,
Now you're like, how many more can live in this house?
no. I mean, 2 cats would still be okay with me. But then we go 3. But I go, maybe they'll have babies. Like, is it a boy and a girl? I don't know.
I don't know. I can't check this kind of stuff. And it's not easy to learn about a
It's not.
cat.
It's not just on the outside of their body. It's just not. It's not.
I've never seen you jump in so fervently.
It's
You're
not.
like, I can
Cats are all the
definitely
same.
verify.
No, cats, no.
Nope.
But I do love cats. Can you tell that I want an animal?
No cats. How many raccoons would you be interested in?
None. I want no raccoons.
None? All right. Well, I know a lady, in case you ever change
I
your
do
mind.
not. I just want a little bitty.
Never going to happen.
I know you're allergic.
Yep.
Can you not be
Wink.
allergic? Can you work on that?
I can work on it.
Thanks.
I have one more stupid person story.
Is it about an animal?
No.
Okay. I was like, because are we really hitting hard the 8? Like, don't be friends with animals.
Yes.
This time it's butterflies.
Arkansas man drowns
Just kidding.
700 cats in his pool.
That there is a movie about that already. It's not about drowning cats, but what's
700?
that? No, what's that movie? The cat one.
I don't know. I mean, we did a story.
The documentary one, remember? Where he filmed.
Don't F with cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really
That's a
sad.
weird one. That was on Netflix. It's probably still there.
Spoilers, they get him. They got him.
That was a weird one
Because
for
you
me.
don't F with cats. That's literally the name of the documentary.
I don't think I've ever talked about this because this was years ago before the show. The reason I even knew about that documentary
That's so sad.
is because a woman who I was working with on a TV show, her name is Taylor. She and I were doing some work on In Ice Cold Blood, I think we were shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, have you seen this? It's called this documentary. It's called Don't F with Cats. Except it actually is the word. I just, we have a clean podcast and I don't want to change it to explicit. And I was like, I'll check it out. And then you and I watched it.
Here's the
was
deal.
a wild one.
If you love animals, don't. I think I cried. I think I closed my eyes for some of it and asked you to tell me when it was over.
That's true.
Because it was pretty intense, and it does escalate quite quickly.
I will say this though,
away from cats.
This wasn't a long time ago. It was pre-COVID. It wasn't a long time ago, but it was back when documentaries had a beginning, middle, and end. The disturbing trend lately of giving us a beginning, middle, and then
maybe an end.
Here's a few
later.
sentences on the screen of where we're at now. I'm not a fan.
And then they'll finish it up like a year later or 6 months later.
And you know it won't be as good.
No, but also amazing documentary based in Canada. They got the SOB, but also it was very sad.
It was very sad.
I could cry about it right now.
Don't do it.
I was pretty sad about it.
Save it for another podcast. Not this one. No tears here.
Okay, I'm ready for the story.
Well, this one comes from the world-renowned Irish Star, where we get all of our news.
Yeah, you Irishman.
I am Irish. And look, I mean,
yeah,
it's
I know
like
you are. That's why I said that.
It's like a Kellie Green.
Yeah.
It's like a
U I'm also
Green.
Irish.
You
Irish,
were,
Back of the Irish.
You are even more
Double Irish now.
Double Irish.
Double Irish. Top of the morning to you.
You're like a 8-leaf clover.
An 8-leaf clover. I'm an 8-leaf clover.
A lot went through my head before I landed on clover, and it wasn't a great landing.
But the clover is a good one.
But it was better than all the others.
It's the best one you could do.
Walmart shopper humiliated as she films herself shoplifting at self-checkout and gets caught by AI.
Duh.
It's a long headline, but this goes back to what we were talking about, this stupid influencer culture. This woman wasn't streaming live or filming herself just for the sake of it. She was doing it to show how she shoplifts.
But it caught you because it has a thing above, doesn't it?
Exactly. So that's what caught it. If you haven't seen it, or if in your area you don't have the self-checkouts or the self-checkouts with the camera above, they've been using it in the article since, I guess, 2017.
That works.
I don't know what the AI part is. Honestly, I think it's like when you scan something and then put it in and the weight doesn't match the scan. It's not really AI. It's just a software. But anyway, this lady was filming herself. She's like, I always shoplift from Walmart, and this is me doing it right now.
This is how I do it.
And so she like puts it over there, and then we've had this happen, not when we're shoplifting. The other stuff happens then. When you put something in the cart and it's like, help is on the way. And you're like, well, this lady comes over, and then it plays back the footage and shows this woman shoplifting.
Because she's saying, like, she's also saying it.
Yeah, and she's got it on camera. Well, literally like 4 cameras, including her own. It says this, the shopper, known on TikTok as Nesha, Nesha. We'll say Nesha.
So check her out.
Well, she filmed herself shoplifting at Walmart self-checkout, getting caught by the supermarket chain's AI. She still shared the clip on TikTok and captioned it, quote, POV, when you usually don't get caught, and now you're banned for 2 years from all Walmarts in your area. She still posted it.
She's an idiot.
A criminal.
She's lucky she didn't get arrested.
Well,
but be aware, Target.
Well,
she's coming for you next.
So the associate comes up, misscan detected, right? All that stuff, blah, blah, blah. The woman who's working there is kind of laughing about it. She's like, oh, I mean, we just caught you shoplifting. I have to get a manager. And the manager comes, they're like, don't do that, but we also have to call the police. So they called the police as well. It doesn't say what happened to the woman, if she got arrested or what happened, but it did say that people stealing from Walmart self-checkouts caused a $3 billion loss last year. Yeah. Just last year. $3 billion.
I know. So is it worth it?
Let me work it.
Nah, man, that's whack.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it says here, she called the manager. Police and the manager had escorted that person out. Hashtag stealing gone wrong. This is what she said. Hashtag stealing gone wrong. How about stealing is wrong?
Yeah.
What is wrong with people?
It's an entertainment world.
But that's crime.
100% it is.
Which, to be fair, a lot of the entertainment we watch in movies and TV.
Crime documentaries. Here's
not
what
just
I'll
documentaries, crime.
I know. What goes around comes around. So, like, if she's
Listen to
willing
Justin
to
Timberlake.
steal,
It's true.
If she's willing to steal here, she'll steal again somewhere else. And guess what? After a while, it's no longer a misdemeanor. It's like you've done this a bunch of times. Like, and you're going to jail. You're going to go.
Yeah. I do think that, in general, karma comes back around.
It does.
Like that lady who was just pounding the back of my seat in the airplane. And you're like, I'm going to say something. I was like, no, don't. This isn't the time. I don't need to be the person who instills this fear in her because someone else will do it, and I don't need to be.
I know. It's just so weird because all you have to do is go, hey, just would you mind putting your knees down? You can just feel it through the seat. And she'd be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize.
At least it was a short flight from Orlando. Whatever. It was far. You got a few minutes for me for some unpop opinions?
Unpop opinions. Go for it. Yeah.
Well, too bad, because I just remembered. You, my love, are gonna hate this. So, quick story. I woke up for the second day in a row about 4:45, and I was like, can't sleep. So I just got up this time, which so far has been fine. I saw something this morning on our little infotainment device. Tesla had an event, I think last night and then a couple days ago, called We Robot, where they introduced a few new things, including, I'd heard about this but hadn't talked to you. Tesla introduced their self-driving taxis.
No.
Have you seen that?
We're out.
Self-driving taxi, which is right here. You see it? It looks kind of like a Model 3 mixed with a Model Y.
Is it a self-driving bus behind it?
That is the 20-person self-driving van.
No.
Neither of them have steering wheels. You just get in and go.
That's how they're going to kidnap us and take us to the facility to do testing on us.
That would be so
there's
awesome.
No,
you get in and then you just arrive not at LAX, but at some like bunker.
There's no steering wheel, so you can't like fix it if something goes wrong. You couldn't pay me enough money to get in one of those. I just need to know.
Did you know Google's been doing this though?
Without a steering wheel? Without the opportunity that if something were to go wrong, like in speed, that you could help figure it out.
Yeah,
you could not pay me enough money to get into a car without a steering wheel.
Well,
or
right
some
now,
sort of device that allows somebody to take control.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do think that's fair. Google has been doing it, but they don't drive on the highways and stuff, on the freeways.
Yeah,
just streets.
It's terrifying.
But the other thing is like how bad of an accident are you going to get on the street versus the freeway? I'm sure that's probably.
I don't know. Our car got pretty hurt when we got in a car accident on the street.
You know what? Fair point. Fair point. Almost gotten another one of those this week. Okay, this is what's going to really make you upset, though.
I already am upset. I don't like Elon Musk.
You ready for this?
Yes.
I'm watching, the article. The reason that I'm even saying this, the article was on our little infotainment thing, and I couldn't get back to it.
It took me a long time
find it
to figure out. I just realized right now
why I said that.
You're referring to as infotainment. I was like, what the heck? Like his phone? Like you can just call it your phone, or like our TV. I understand now. It's our little hub device in the kitchen. Yes.
They showed the taxi, the self-driving taxi. They showed the self-driving vans, and then the last thing they showed was this.
No.
And we've made a lot of progress. You're really going to have something.
That is a fleet of Tesla full-size human robots called Optimus.
This would cost something like
It looks just like the Mitchells versus the Machines, if you know those robots. Look at this. It'll be a babysitter for your children. It'll teach your kid, walk your dog. It'll make you drinks.
This is like a Black Mirror episode, or like a recent. There's an episode with
of what?
It's a movie like this.
iRobot?
No, it's a
AI.
recent one, and it has a girl in it that I really like from Crazy Rich Asians.
But this clip is from the actual event. Those are the real robots walking. He's like, they'll be $20,000, $30,000.
They're going to put you in one of those buses with no steering wheel. They're going to take you to a facility where these Optimus things then tell you to get out, kind of like in Star Wars.
Oh, they do kind of look like
100%
stormtroopers.
Yeah. And then you're just going to be stuck in this facility where AI takes over. I'm really that stuff freaks me out. If you want to scare me, buy me one of those machines, because it would freaking scare the crap out of me. I do not want them near me. I do not want them out.
Y'all.
And here's the deal. I don't discriminate, except for against machines.
That's not discrimination.
Is it? Someone might say it is.
No, it's like saying discriminating against cars.
I don't want it. I know. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's safe. I think it's really scary and really terrifying. I think we're living in the end of the world if those things can figure things out and take over.
It's a bad idea.
And I don't trust Elon Musk with them.
I don't trust him either. Honestly, there's so many promises he's made through his various companies that either never came to fruition or have been put off. And he says so much crazy stuff. When he bought Twitter and changed the name, he got progressively, rapidly more and more unhinged, pardon me. So, I don't trust it. Here's the deal. I don't think those robots are the future. I do think AI is the present and the future. The flip side of that is we did a story a couple months ago about one of the robots in Korea that's working. I forget, it like either fell downstairs and exploded, or I think it may have terminated itself because it hated all the busy work it had to do.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. which was so sad. But apparently, like South Korea and many other places in the East are already using robots for stuff. So it could be the future, but I can't imagine, like, I've always thought this. If you're going to make robots, why make them look like humans? It's not the most effective or efficient body or structure or center of gravity.
It looks like us, and so maybe we'll accept it more.
Totally. I think what makes more sense are those creepy robot dogs that some of them don't even have like what the head would be. It's like a rectangle shoebox with legs. Those things can fall over, flip over. They can pick themselves up. They've got a perfect center of gravity. That makes sense. Anyway.
They can't make you a drink, though, or teach your kids. Apparently,
I bet they could. I don't think they could make you a drink with their little robot paws, but they could teach your kids. Be like ruff, 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 ruff. Like Emperor's New Groove. Squeak, squeaking, squeaking, whatever. Anyway, I knew you'd hate that, but I had to tell you because the future is now and the future is nigh. Let me get some unpopular opinions. Sorry, none of those were words.
They were close to words.
This is ironic because I put the show together before I saw this post that you saw as well from a friend, but now it's just so much sweeter. Photo shoots have gone too far. You don't need to have a photo shoot for every basic milestone in life.
No, although we do have our family photos coming up here this weekend. The first time we've had them in like 2 years.
I know that it sounds like I'm justifying, but that seems normal to get nice family photos.
Yeah. I like having our family photos.
They say people have photo shoots for far too often these days. A photo shoot for every birthday, maternity shoot, pregnancy, newborn shoot, anniversary photos, multiple engagement photos, family photos, and the list goes on.
Although, as someone who owns a photo booth, I'm all for it. But instead of hiring a photographer, just hire a photo booth and we'll capture your memories for you.
Whoops, unpopular opinion. We don't think there's too many photo shoots. We should have more. I wanted to throw this out here because I knew you'd have an opinion on it, and I wanted to do it last week, but I felt like we ran out of time, even though I know we've got a long episode today. But I knew you'd have a take on this, and I don't know what the take is. Tell me what you think. Mm-hmm. Giving thoughtless gifts is worse than giving nothing at all.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Care to elaborate?
Yes, I will. I need to send this to you so I don't forget it.
Perfect. Kellie, if you don't know, is a gift giver.
Well, you'll understand that. It doesn't matter.
Perfect.
Later. I am a gift giver. Here's the deal. Let me tell you a little story. There was one year, I can say it, my grandma doesn't listen. My mom,
as far as you know,
got a gift from my grandma. It was probably a couple $100 worth of stuff, which you would be like, oh my gosh, that's so nice and that's so kind. But it was a bunch of wine. My mom is not a wine drinker. And so it didn't mean anything to her. She was like, this is dumb. You didn't even think about me. You don't even know me well enough to get this for me. They had a whole conversation about it. They're fine now. And my mom likes wine now. So it's a whole
ironic,
weird thing.
Foreshadowing.
Well, some wine. And she can't really have it now because
it's more,
of life. And she likes the sweet wine like I like.
The Moscato kind of stuff.
But she can't have it now. It doesn't matter. But anyways, she's going to be so mad that I told that story. But yeah, I do think like I am a gift giver. I like to try to be thoughtful. And if I can't figure out it like an actual thing, then I like to be thoughtful in like the gift card I give you or like the packaging or however I do it. Because I think it's important, you know. You could give me a gift and if you didn't think through it, it would mean absolutely nothing to me. Actually, I'd probably be upset and hurt by the fact that it was something I didn't like. Or something that I couldn't
Me specifically
use.
Or just anyone?
Just in general. Because like, I don't know. It's
What's
like,
a thoughtless gift? Like, is a gift card thoughtless?
No. Especially not if it's to a place that the person likes. Because here's the deal. You may know that I like Madewell and be like, oh, like I know that she would love to buy her. I'd love to get her something. Now I'm just going to talk about you. I'd love to get her something from there. But honestly, there's a lot of different options. I don't know exactly what she wants. I don't know if she needs more pants or if she wants a certain shirt. I'm not really sure. Yeah. So like, I'm going to give her the gift card so that she can go and get the thing that she wants. Yeah. Like, that's really thoughtful because like you thought through the fact that like I like Madewell and that, you know, I'd want something there. And maybe you've even looked into like, you know, this amount of money will at least allow her to get a shirt or a pants or something or like a couple of things, whatever it is, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, I think like that's a thoughtful gift. I think like a thoughtless gift is like, it's really hard to think about.
I was like, don't use anything that you've gotten. No, I understand a re-gift when you know it's an obvious re-gift.
An obvious re-gift, yeah, is not very thoughtful. I've gotten some in like my life. Obviously.
A candle?
No, not if it's
like
thoughtful.
candles.
Not if it's a thoughtful candle. Well, here's the deal. Like,
Like a candle with a quote on it.
No. No. But I think about like Simone. I've gotten Simone some nice candles that are lychee scented because she really likes lychee. That's like her favorite thing.
Yeah.
You know? But if I got it, let's say like, you know, that I hate the smell of cherries.
Or maybe in this case, we don't know you hate the smell of cherries or whatever, and we get you a cherry scented candle.
Sure, but that wouldn't necessarily be thoughtless. That would just be...
But it's still the same thing. It's like, do you know me?
Yeah. I can't really think of anything right now that would be like that. It'd more be, I don't know. I know that it's happened, but I can't think of anything.
Well,
Also, I hate birthmas gifts. That
I'm
is like
sorry,
a thoughtless
what?
gift for me.
Birthmas? Oh, because you have a birthday
'Cause
close
I have a
to
birthday
Christmas.
close to Christmas.
I thought that was like a push present or something. I
No,
thought you were like, I
birthmas.
hate the idea of giving a mom a
No,
present
I love
for
that
having
idea.
a
I
baby.
think that's great. No, but I gifts are hard for me, and all that stuff is really difficult for me because my birthday is in December, and it's like halfway through 12/12. It's only a couple of 13 days from Christmas, so it's like I understand. Hear me, to any of my friends that are listening, and anybody that has a December birthday or early January. Although something happens after New Year's that like the year restarts for people, but. I understand that it's difficult to already think through a gift for somebody. Totally get that. And then to have to think through it again for like Christmas after thinking of the birthday. I totally understand that it's difficult. If you need to know about me or anybody is that gifts are cool. Experiences are fun. Even just being thoughtful in the fact of like, hey, I want to take you out for your birthday, or hey, I'd love to buy you a drink, or hey, can we get together for your birthday? That is meaningful to me because I'm like, I just want to spend time. I just want to be thought of. And that is my thing. I want to be thought of. You know that. I like to feel valued. I like to feel like people are thinking about me.
My problem with you is that this sounds like just the, backhanded self-complimented or like low-key self-compliment, but I don't mean it that way. And you can, I'm sure, back me up. I think of you and I think of each other a lot, just day to day. Like,
I know.
every couple weeks, I'll be like, here's
this for
a
you,
new
yeah.
Lego set because you were feeling sick. Or I got you a Starbucks on the way home, even though I let you sleep in and I drove the 2 hours there and back. I still got you. That's just kind of how we operate, which is great until we get to birthdays and stuff where it's like, what do I get her? I can't get her like one or two things. It feels not thoughtful, even if the one thing is something you want. So that's why we bank into either like a big thing, like I got you another diamond band for your ring
30th,
for your 30th, or we're going on a vacation, we're going out of the state to do something for your birthday, or we're having a big experience or something like that. So it turns into that because most of the things, if I haven't given them to you, we're all adults. We just buy things from Amazon and it just gets here. I know that's a privileged thing to say, but it's the reality for many of us in the world we live is like, if you have some disposable income and you have something you want, why are we waiting 9 months to hopefully someone will buy it for me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it myself. I'm an adult. I don't need to depend on someone to buy something for me.
Here's the deal. It's funny that the more I think about it, the more I'm like, is there a thoughtless gift? I mean, I'm sure there is, but like just being thought of is, I guess, a big
What
deal.
if someone was like, here's a meat tray?
That's not me.
Would that be thoughtless to a person like you?
Probably, because that's not like something I would want.
Or if someone was like, you're gonna love this boogie board.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna love it.
Oh man, here is a 3-pack of soccer balls.
Wow. Got the wrong person here.
Okay, so we're finding a few things.
Hey, yeah, for sure. I see that.
Yeah. Braces.
Had him, did it, over.
I was gonna say a brace, like a retainer case, but you still wear your retainer.
I would love it, actually.
So I had to.
A retainer case would be amazing. I mean, I have one, but
Another one.
I still want those things that you put your retainers in and they clean it for you.
You know what we need to do though is we'll just put your retainers in a cup and we'll use that coffee thing.
No. The frother.
Yeah, the frother.
The frother.
We'll froth those bad
froth
boys.
it up.
We'll froth it up.
Do you think there's such thing as a thoughtless gift?
I am not a gift receiver.
No.
I don't care. I do care about people's attention and affection and time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need a gift. So,
but you do like them. Like if it's something if it's practical. He's a practical person with gifts. Like you get him a pair of shoes. He's like, yeah, I can use those for like my gigs. Or like a nice shirt. You're like, yeah, that's cool. Like all of that. So you're more of a practical gift giver. Like Listerine packs in your stocking.
Yeah, even though those are unsubscribe and save. See, we're adults. We buy what we want.
I know, but still, it's so.
I think that's what it comes down to is
cookies and cream, Hershey bar.
You experience love. That's a good one too. You experience love by feeling thought of, and sometimes that's by being thought of by being given things because people were thinking of you. I like being thought of as well, but I don't care if that equates to a gift. I think for me, I am wired a little bit in the fairness kind of mindset. There's an episode of The Office where it's Dwight and probably Jim, I don't remember, and they would each like be like, I brought in bagels, and then the other person would be like, oh well, tomorrow I'm bringing donuts, and they bring donuts, and then I have pizza. And it's like anytime someone did something, there had to be something reciprocated because the other one didn't want to feel like they had some leverage over them. Yeah, and that's kind of how I'm wired. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, you got me this thoughtful thing. I got to start thinking about what I'm getting you for your birthday. That's because I wasn't even thinking about your birthday because I'm not thinking about gifts. I'll take you out to dinner. I'll have great times.
Which I would love. Din Tai Fung every time is a win.
All of it.
I just need you to know. Every time for me.
It's so ironic because when we went for your birthday, it didn't work out.
It did
But we remedied that the next day. Anyway, I can't think of a thought. I mean, I thought of a few thoughtless gifts. I just don't really care about gifts. You know me. Like, it's so funny. Like, even in my family, me, my sister, and my mom.
You guys tell each other what you want, which is such a weird thing for me. I'm like, tell them what you want.
And we also just don't do anything. Like, we typically don't give each other things for Christmas. Maybe Christmas.
You do. You literally say, this is what I want. And then they will buy it for you.
True.
And I've always been like, that's so interesting.
Yeah, but I don't ever tell anyone what I want because I don't need it.
Yeah, they ask me, and then I'm like,
you're forced to script. That's the worst position to be in.
And I go, what do you want? Or I give up the things that I've thought of throughout the year, and I'm like, well, you can get him this. So I'm not gonna get that.
See, and then you feel bad.
No, because you still get the thing.
I know, but
and
I don't know.
Do other things. It's fine.
Well, I've got a few more weeks.
And to you,
to figure out your birthday gift.
Yeah, you do. But I just take me to Din Tai Fung. But for you, what I know is that for Christmas especially, if I take care of Brooklyn stuff, that makes you feel loved and taken care of.
Yeah, but I see that more as how we operate as a couple.
For sure. But it is more important for you that Brooklyn gets things that she loves over and then I'm next over you. Like that's how you go. You go, I want Brooklyn to get everything she wants, and then I want Kellie to like have stuff that she's excited about. And then like if I get stuff, that's cool.
That is true in terms of holidays. But in life, it switches between you and Brooklyn depending on the situation.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to default. I did it yesterday. You got 2 cupcakes from the Wicked event, and I was like, I'm going to give mine to Brooklyn.
Which I thought was sweet.
And you were like, I knew you were going to say that.
And I almost grabbed another one. I just truly couldn't figure out how to carry 3 cupcakes out.
3 cupcakes is a lot. 2 cupcakes is too much to carry because you can't carry more than one in a hand.
They were really good.
Oh, they're great. But
we shared it.
3 cupcakes is impossible.
Yeah, but I had a plate. I should have done that, but it's fine.
It was a lot. Anyways, probably time to start wrapping things up. Is there anything you're looking forward to? I've got one thing I'm looking forward to if you need some time to stall.
Yeah.
Applebee's, baby. You know them. You love them. You may have forgotten that they still exist. But this guy is being flown to Nashville, Tennessee to host the Applebee's Awards. That's right. They're not just surviving, they're thriving, at least well enough to be giving out awards and flying out people like me to host that show. So I'm going to Nashville on Monday to do the event on Tuesday. I'm building it up a lot, and it's going to be probably like a normal corporate event. But Applebee's babies.
That's great.
Yeah, what about you?
I have an event tomorrow that I'm doing.
Oh, I forgot.
So I'm doing that. I'm getting my nails done with my friend Ashley May next week. Looks my toenails done. We're going up to see my extended family on the weekend after watching Brooklyn and her talent show.
That's this week?
That's next week, yeah. Or this week, yeah.
That's this Friday?
Uh-huh.
Great.
Yeah, so it's happening. And then we have a birthday party for a 1-year-old.
Yeah, Junie.
And then,
Not Junie. Henry.
Junie is this week.
Oh, I can't keep
And then Harvey is
I can't keep all the 1-year-olds in my life straight and all their parties.
And then it's a crazy week for me.
We do have a lot of 1-year-olds in our life.
Yeah, we do. But that and Simone's birthday is coming up too. And I think we're going to be celebrating her as well. We got a busy couple of Sundays coming up here.
Well, this is probably a great time talking about the 1-year-old's birthdays to say we'll be celebrating a 1-year birthday of our own in about 16 or 17 months.
Woo, woo, woo.
Because we are having a baby And we just wanted you guys to be the first to know about it.
Who are you having a baby with?
You?
No.
Oh.
This isn't the place to have that joke because my parents listen and your mom listens.
Maybe it's exactly the place to have that
I was like,
joke.
what are you talking about?
This is on air when I tell you
All
that
of our
I'm having a
friends-
baby with someone else.
Yeah, well, have fun.
I will.
I'll be over here.
I figured you've been such a great stepmom up until this point. You'll rock it with the second one.
Oh my God.
We're not having a baby.
We're not having a baby. If we're having a baby, it's a cat or a dog, and probably not a cat because he's allergic. So a dog,
Neither.
a medium-sized Aussie, Australian Shepherd.
I have no affinity for Aussies. Well, the people, yes, but the dogs.
You've never
no.
even met one. They're so cute.
I've met a lot
They're
of
so
Australian
cute.
people.
They're like they're like corgis, but with longer legs.
Well, I'll keep that in mind for the baby watch.
Oh my God.
We got a busy week coming up, but we're excited
What
about
a
it.
weird thing to joke about.
I know. Well, we joke about it all the time. It's the first time it fell flat with you.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, because I was really confused. I was like, what are you
All those
saying?
acting classes are paying off.
There's just too
It's
much
just like-
real life of that right now, of like people that have babies and 1-year-olds. And so I was like, what are you talking? Like, is there somebody else I forgot about? I was like so confused.
Probably. And to them, we say happy birthday to your son or daughter or
Yeah.
non-binary baby that we don't know about. I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Anyway,
What a show. What a time.
what a
We're
weird, fun time.
almost halfway through spooky season in October. And you got a long, drawn-out episode of Hardly Working this week to get you through
You're welcome.
the whole week. You are stinking welcome.
But we hope you have a great week.
We sure do. And we hope you spend all of your time
Hardly
Hardly
working.
working.
Bye. Down, down, down the road. Down the witch's road.